I'm really excited to announce our next panelist, who is Haydn Snape, who will be doing Gaming Will Lead Us into the Metaverse with NFTs. So please help me welcome Haydn Snape. Whoop, whoop.
See if this is working. Don't know what the best thing to do. Is it a sit down or a stand type thing? Maybe I'll stand. I don't know how I'm going to top that dude, the Upland guy, but I'll try to spend 10 minutes telling you a bit about what I believe this industry is going to do to gaming, and moreover some of the other industries that we as a company at DIG are looking to disrupt. So who is DIG really quickly? We're a Dubai-based investment company. So we specialize in helping founders develop innovative Web3 companies, and that can be funding, that can be expertise around building these companies, building teams, deploying capital, those kinds of boring things. But why I'm laser focused on gaming, why I'm laser focused on entertainment, and why we partnered recently with the biggest Hollywood studio, independent Hollywood studio, Bron, is because I believe entertainment and gaming is central to the adoption of this technology. So specifically gaming, why do I believe gaming is going to be the key? We've all probably seen the movie Ready Player One, and what we saw in Ready Player One was this imagination of a virtual world where we don't need to live in the present, and we can live, we can earn, we can play, we can be communal, and we can create a better, more sort of efficient world and operate with one another. So that's where I see gaming going, and that's where I bet big on a MMORPG that we published through one of our subsidiaries called Realms of Eternity. So if you did a quick Google search, you'll find that this is a World of Warcraft style, massively multiplayer online game that utilizes all of this technology to get people to live in this world and escape the present. So we've seen with Axie Infinity why this is so powerful, because it captivated an entire nation in the Philippines. It also created an $8 billion market cap token and ecosystem. So we've seen all of the signs that this is going to be the next thing. So specifically, this title, which if I'm honest with you, I've not prepared. Gaming will lead us to the metaverse with NFTs. I'll talk to it really quickly as to why I think that is the case. I may get a bit philosophical, but to me, all of this industry is about the efficiency of resources and how we deploy them, how we allocate them. And resources include us, right? In a marketplace, as people that exist in a society, we don't often find the best friends and relationships, right? That's where we go to Tinder. That's where we go to these social apps like Facebook and Instagram, because it's inefficient. So what's a more efficient way to allocate our human capital and find better relationships? We go online. Now, add to that this dimension of Web3 and tokenization. Essentially what we're doing is tokenizing ourselves. And by tokenizing ourselves, picture us being absorbed into a green matrix-looking screen. That's kind of what's in the process of happening with all of these products that are coming out of Web3. And why it's so powerful is when we're online, we're more efficient. We find the people we like. We find the people that we have a connection with, right? I have my partner right here in front of me. I met her on Instagram, so prime example. But why the metaverse, or why this virtual world is so powerful, is because we're going to go there and we're going to find all of our friends and all of our future lovers and all of our future, amazing people that are going to be in our lives online. It's not going to happen in the real world, because this world's too busy, it's too dense, it's too difficult to navigate, it's too difficult to find the right relationships. So why gaming is so powerful, why Fortnite's so big, why World of Warcraft is so big, is because it connects the people that don't feel like they can find their tribe in the real world. So that's where I see us heading with the metaverse, that you're going to have this sort of crazy experience like a World of Warcraft, where you're able to connect with others. And we're doing this through the power of tokenization. We're doing this through concepts like non-fungible tokens. So that's high level, sort of philosophical. Again, to drill down into one of these projects that we're spending quite a lot of time and energy on, is called Realms of Eternity. So it's this MMORPG And if anybody's sitting in there thinking they understand the metaverse or NFTs, you don't unless you played World of Warcraft or you've played Second Life or maybe you've even played Sims or SimCity or Age of Empires where you're building worlds or managing people or managing communities. Do that and then you can understand where this is going. Until that point, you probably don't have a clue, right? To you, it's just, an ape that you're downloading on your MetaMask and that's an NFT. So, is this still working? Yeah. So gaming for me is the center of this industry. That's why I put the majority of our capital as a company into it. That's why I'm betting big on it. I think it's, as you can tell, I've not prepared this at all, so I'm running out of things to say. But that's very much why I see gaming as being the most important area for NFTs to achieve real adoption. So. Maybe you want to give me a friendly question, Lily, or Jemana. We'll do a Q&A, because I've got nothing else to say. The game we're now, that's a good idea, actually. So last night we had an event over in White Spaces, Chelsea, I think. So we partnered with Bron Studios. Bron is the Hollywood studio behind Joker, Bombshell, House of Gucci, you name it. They're like as good as it gets. The producer on a lot of their stuff is a guy called Jason Chen. He was working on Avatar, Thor Ragnarok. So these are like huge projects. So DIG, we partnered with these guys. We're taking one of their digital assets called Gossamer, which is based on a book by Lois Lowry, I think. And what we're doing is this is an entire world built in Unreal 5. And we're going to tokenize it all. And we're going to distribute it to people via NFTs, via land, via a governance token as well. And again, that's huge, right? And I think that's, leads me to where I think metaverses will go in terms of there being one or many. And I don't think there is going to be one. I think there's going to be many. I don't know technologically how they'll all be spliced together, but I think people have their own kind of micro metaverses or micro communities. Bron will have a collection of theirs. We have a gaming studio in Vietnam pumping out lots of games as well. We'll have ours as well. But I think, again, these are all these different kind of communities essentially coming together of people. And that's what this is all about at the end of the day. You take the technology out of it, take the sort of verbiage and the weird sort of phraseology of NFTs and all this funny stuff. It's just people. It comes down to people and how we can more efficiently build a better world. And again, as a company, DIG, that's very much our motto. We go about trying to build a better society through this technology. And I think at the heart of this is the ability to harness the technology to get the adoption. I think gaming is the way that's going to happen, but very few people understand gaming. That's the unfortunate thing, and I think we're seeing big players enter the stage, which is wonderful, but still, lots of room for some really big players. Again, I'm running out of things to say, so Jemana, do you want to team me up with anything else? DAOs? Nothing there. All right, cool. Any other... There we go. That's a great question. So we actually released a game around the time Axie came out called Kart Racing League, and we actually had a Times Square billboard. So it was really big at the time, but we just copied their play to earn model, and fundamentally, it obviously doesn't work. Everybody acknowledges that, right? It's as pump and dump as you could possibly get. So how do you sustain it? You don't. Because I don't think you can create any kind of an incentivization within a token that's going to prop it up and have both buyers and sellers create some kind of a magical equilibrium. It's not going to happen. So some of the things that we've been doing instead is moving more towards the sort of gambling side of things, because if I'm honest with you, a pool of capital is not going to just sort of emerge out of thin air. So what we were conceiving with one game is have people wager, say $5, to play themselves against others. It goes into a pot that can be in stablecoin. It's paid out depending on the person that finishes first, second, and third. That's the most sustainable model, right? Add to that then the cool thing that came out of Axie, which was scholars, and you have this sort of unique concept of people in developing countries that are willing to play these video games and treat it as a day-to-day job. You could have NFT owners essentially stake their NFT, and by virtue of that wagering $5 that some scholar is going to race for them in the case of our game. And then there's a revenue split, right, or a profit split, sorry, between the scholar and the manager. So that's a really unique model. We're pursuing that with a couple of our games. But yeah, fundamentally, I think this sort of concept of creating tokens and trying to achieve magical equilibrium and incentivizing people to hold it versus selling it, and it's near impossible, right? Central banks have been trying to do that for hundreds of years and failing. So, you know, us trying to replicate that in the world of Web3 is sort of doomed to failure. I think we need to completely reinvent it. But no, thanks for that question. That was really good. I'll keep doing this, actually. It's a lot easier than trying to make up stuff.
Thank you so much, Haydn.
Am I done?
We're
Thank
kicking you
God for
off.
that.
No, I'm just kidding. Thank you so much, Haydn. Everyone came all the way from halfway around the world. Big round of applause here.